We are asking the Most High to show His mercy on our leader, Prophet Muhammad. Today is a great day in the history of this country. Today, Nigerians are celebrating 61 years of this country after independence. For those who are following the media, they must have seen the colorful events being displayed to show how great this nation is. The president was there, ministers, high level of government officials, business tycoon, religious leaders, traditional leaders, those who are stakeholders were represented in the occasion. The celebration is all about Nigeria is 61. And whosoever is 61 mostly must have a grandchild. He's no more a father, but a grandfather. And a grandfather is supposed to be responsible, not irresponsible. I need not to tell you the status of Nigeria with the age. Was I responsible or irresponsible, you are to judge. But the challenges are numerous. Of course, before going into that, we must go back, because making Nigeria to be 61-year-old is history. We have to go back a little. Go back 300 years before this time. You find out that Islam was already established in what was not even called Nigeria at that time. But largely, most part of northern Nigeria, part of Cameroon, Niger, and Chad were submissive to Islam. Islam has existed. And in fact, if you want to cycle it to Borno, you find out that Islam has existed in Borno for the past 1,300 years ago. In fact, some say as early as the time of Sahabas and the early Tabi'in, Islam existed in Borno Empire. Now, I said 300 years ago, because you cannot go far in a khutbah of this nature. The leaders of Hausa land then, most of them were Muslims. Very few are those who are traditionalists. But they did not follow the dictate of Islam at those hours. They were tyrannical in nature. They are confiscated, they are oppressed, they cheat, they drink, they fornicate. Even though most of them are Muslims. That makes the movement of Usman Danfodio. Usman Danfodio, as young as when he was 20, at around 1777. Yes, precisely at that hour he has started preaching. And the followers of his are the ordinary masses. He gained ground, he gained popularity, he gained number. The Hausa leaders started being scared of the movement of Usman bin Fodio. He was bribed, he rejected. He was obedient, he was active, he was cooperative. He maintained the pattern of preaching the truth until when Allah gave him victory over the Hausa leaders. And he established Sharia in 1804, to be precise. Most book of history around 1804. Sharia was established in this country. Of course, it's not called Nigeria at that time. This Sharia has gone as far as Kwara State present, Ilorin particularly. The Emir of Ilorin is bearing the flag of Usman bin Fodio. That's why the emirate is a Fulani emirate. A long discussion on that line too. Till now, you have the Balogun of Fulani in the town of Ilorin. This is grounded at a leadership standard. But when you go deep into the south, you find out that Osun State, to be precise, Ede, Sharia was established in the city of Ede. Some added Iwo, all in Osun State today. But Sharia has reached even Lagos State. Not the standard of leadership, but at community level. So Islam is not new to this country. Now, when the colonial masters came in, whom we are celebrating our 61 today, from the sea, Lagos, their target is to make sure they dismantle the leadership of Muslims. That is their first primary assignment. Take it or you don't take it, that is exactly what happens. They started calculating, maneuvering, plotting, planning, until when they deal with a number of our kingdoms and states. Ilori, Bidda, Adamawa, Bauchi, Gombe. In fact, the last challenge that remained to them was Sokoto itself, the seat of Caliphate. They could not allow us to exist even in Sokoto. The leader during the time, because we faced a number of challenges, they have sophisticated gadgets and weapons. We are only using manuals those days with our Iman. And at that spot too, the Usman leadership was becoming weak, going back to zero square. Added with weakness, the sophisticated gadgets of weapons that make their victory over us to be very pronounced. At the point when Atahiru, the Khalifa of that time, around 1800, because there was a change of leadership, because of the crisis, he has to plan migrating, because he said he will never be under a colonial master. He will never submit himself, because the arrangement was to submit himself, and he rejected. The confrontation was so brutal. He has to migrate, thinking of going to Mecca. On his way, when he reached Burmi, currently in Gombe State, very close to Ashaka cement factory, cement factory. That's where the grave of Atahiru is now. These people marched their forces under the leadership of Major Marsh, M-A-R-S-H. And the confrontation was bloody. And you know the gadgets and sophistication they have. He has to be martyred there. They kill him. They kill a number of his followers there. Now a Western man will tell a Nigerian Muslim that we are terrorists. Who is terrorist? Who terrorize us? Who kill our grandfathers? Who kill our Sharia? And this is documented in history. Go to all our universities and see what we have been recording there. Just history without reflection. We should be reflecting our history. Our history is bright. We are a community of par excellence. Unfortunately today, when our leaders became something you cannot write about, when majority of them are criminals, when most of them are just for dunya, that's why you cannot display our history of beauty to a non-Muslim and he will appreciate it. He will never appreciate it. Because what is practical is contrary to who we are. Now, this is the bloody history. And since that time, 1903, with the Sharia is almost 100 years. Because most historians who wrote are saying the Sharia lasted for a century. Now, their own regime started. And their own plotting started. From 1903, when the Sharia was buried. Compromised all the way. They continue for good 11 years after the burial of Sharia, except a picture of it. That's why you see our leaders, our emirs, their houses are very close to the mosque. Check all our emirs and see. This design was not coincidence. It is for a symbol of religion. Look at all our emirs now. Check your own emir. You find out that the house of the emir, the palace, and the mosque are just very close, including Ilorin, which I mentioned. And the market is nearby. We are people of hard working. We are never lazy. We are religious. And now it's almost out of us in the name of tagging us to be terrorists. You should define who is a terrorist now after knowing this history. Now they continue for good 11 years. At 1914, amalgamation happens, where different cultures were brought together by force, not at will. That's why if any IPOP is going today, I see no reason why you should waste your energy and time. No reason. When criminals are from this area of the country. When all our images are bad from this part of the country. Are you here on earth as a Muslim for materialism? You are here to define whom you are as a Muslim first, before any other thing. Now it continues until when the claim independence was given. And today we are 61. Of course, there is progress and development of road infrastructures, hospitals, schools, ministries, so many things of development and technology. That is key to life, but it's secondary to your iman. Your iman is first, before any other development. Any progress without deen is a waste of energy and time. Anybody who has a misconception of this, he has lost identity of being a good Muslim. Now today, criminalities, killings, banditry, kidnappers among Muslims. 90% of kidnappers are Muslims. You cannot deny this. Kidnapping who? Kidnapping his fellow brother Muslim. At times from the same area. At times even the neighbor will be the informant. At times even the son killed the father. Now that is our predicament. And that's why we are going to suffer it until when we change. But with all this crisis, what is going to be our role Islamically? Islamically, we must love this country. Even if this country is worse than what we are witnessing, a Muslim must love this country, must pray for this country, must also be part and parcel of reformation, even if it causes death. He must be part of it. And that is the nature of all the prophets. They love their country. They love their nation. They fought. They put in their sacrifice. Take the father of all the prophets, Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. In Surah Ibrahim, he prayed. Even though his people are rotten, he prayed for them. The first thing he asked for is security. وَإِذْ قَالَ إِبْرَاهِيمُ رَبِّ اجْعَلْ هَذَا الْبَلَدَ آمِنًا. Security, number one. With their criminalities, he is praying for security. All of us should join hands to make security to be what's supposed to be in this country, not what we are witnessing today. All of us. He prayed for economical development. وَارْزُقْهُمْ مِنَ الثَّمَرَاتِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَشْكُرُونَ. That is agriculture, number one. Because agriculture is the oldest profession. And with it, any nation you know can grow. And let me single out and mention the president. And this is not politics. And I don't bother what you term it to be. This gentleman loved this country. If you are looking for a nationalist, then our president, Mr. Buhari, is one. He's one. But how many of Buharis do we have? And that's why corruption is almost everywhere. Look at Adua. He died with nothing in him. Nothing at all. These are people who love this country. But when we manufacture and produce criminals at all levels, at the level of the masses, at the level of the leaders, businessmen, scholars, so many, how will the country grow? You are wasting your energy. No amount of prayers alone can revive it. You must work for it. Prophets work for it. They pray and they work. Take Musa alayhi salatu wasalam with Fir'aun. When he wanted to instigate people against him, he mentioned nationality. He said, Musa and Harun, they want to remove you from your land. He did not say they are preaching. He did not say they are saying Allah is one. No. He wanted to instigate them. He used nationality. Because the people of Fir'aun love Misra. And today Egyptians, they love Egypt. Sudanese love Sudan. Americans love America. Everybody love about Nigeria. The higher you go, the more corrupt you are. So until when there is change of what is seen as value, you must have a new orientation of knowing the role we're supposed to play to this nation. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu, the leader of all the messengers, with the criminalities of the Meccans, with the brutality of the Meccans, with the persecution of the Meccans on the companions, and even killing some of his followers, he loved Mecca. When he was told after revelation that if you continue to preach, Meccans are going to reject you, they are going to remove you from Mecca, he said, Amukhrijiyahum, are they going to remove me from Mecca? Because of the level he has respect and love for Mecca. He was removed, he was rejected. He found comfort in Medina. Leadership under his command, including the Jews and the Christians and pagans and Muslims, he was the leader of Medina. But still, his attention is in Mecca, where idols are there in the Kaaba. He loved Mecca. He was facing Jerusalem at the beginning, and he is always raising his hand to Allah. Oh Allah, change my Qibla to Mecca. Change my Qibla to Mecca. Until when Allah confirmed that, and he changed it for him. كَنَّ نَرَى تَقَلُّبَ وَجْهَكَ فِي السَّمَاءِ فَلَنُوَلِّيَنَّكَ قِبْلَةً تَرْضَاهَا فَوَلِّ وَجْهَكَ شَطْرَ الْمَسْجِدِ الْحَرَامِ. That is Mecca. You have no justification, no matter the level of criminalities, for you to hate Nigeria. You must be one of those who are going to reform this nation. You must spell out your role. You must see it clearly before you go. اللهم اعز الاسلام والمسلمين ودمر اعداءنا اعداءك اعداء الدين ربنا اتنا في الدنيا حسنه وفي الاخره حسنه وقنا عذاب النار ان الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا ايها الذين امنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما صليت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد.